it's time to do this, and as always, there's a massive, great big lag between me hitting OK and us going live. So it's telling me that we're live over there. Happy days. Hi, I'm Matt, and welcome to this live session. This is a nude style of session. It's called a CAFBAW. Now, two of those letters are adult-orientated words, and nobody's been able to guess it correctly in the Facebook group yet. If you'd like to take a stab at that, there's a link to the Facebook group in the video description for you. So, on to topic. In short, in tonight's live episode, I've got two models which are down there, which I've had for over a week. They're still sealed in the box, and I just have not had time to get around to unboxing them just yet. Those of you which are on the live version, if you can let us know if the audio is good, bad or ugly. Now, before we go any further, I want to give you like a little hint, okay? On the desk is still the mini track, which is an episode which I put out yesterday or the day before. And in that episode, I said something twice. I will be doing a quick question on that in a few moments' time. Now, before we go any further, I've just seen Julian is on the live version, and you can see the chat, the live chat down the side. And of course, if you're watching the recorded version, if you've got any questions or comments about anything which you see covered, remember you can just ask in the comments section underneath. And if you have any questions as we're going along in the live version, I do have the laptop here on the side, and we'll be taking a note. I'll keep an eye out for your questions as we go along. Now, this one's just a quick one for Julian. He was saying about the state of his AXN floater jet. Now, you should be able to see above us the camera. Now, the one thing which you might be able to see is the carbon fibre strip, the carbon fibre rod, the pair of carbon fibre rods on here, and there's some on the top as well. The wing's been snapped in half more times than I can remember. It's broken here. It's had a love bite off the back of its tail. And that is the AXN Cloud Surfer, which I learnt to fly with. And the thing is that it will still fly now. So, Julian, you will be really surprised on what you can do with a bit of glue, some carbon fibre and some tape. And to prove the point, I'll take that one out fly with me next time. Obviously, I'll make sure it's airworthy because it's been sat in the cellar for the last 4 months, something like that. No, it's been longer than that. It's been in the cellar for about a year, well, 8 months or so minimum. So we'll get out, make sure it's flight worthy, and we'll give it a lob and see if we can kill it, in short. So anyway, getting on to tonight's episode. Two models. One, it was suggested, and they're in the box next to me. We'll get them out in a moment. The first one was suggested, and it came with a warning, which is that if you get 2 landings out of it, Matt, that'll be happy days. So the bar's not been set very high for that one. And the other one's a little baby one. And those of you which know the one which I'm talking about, it's the Budgie, which Colin flies. And I've been and bought myself one here because I have owned one for absolutely ages. And I've got plans for one or the other to soup it up a bit. So because I don't expect one or the other is going to survive very long, as such, I've been and bought myself a spare. Now, before we go any further, I feel, as always, it's 100%, just make this point entirely clear, these models were bought out of my own money for my own abuses. Take that as you may. There are currently no links to them in the video description, so you have to look them up, in this case, on the Hobby King website. So, Julian says, you win hands down, Matt. Mine is like new compared to that one. Honestly, Julian, you'd be surprised of what you can do with hot glue and tape and carbon in an AXN, you know? And I know Steve was posting in the Facebook group earlier. He's had 3 of them. Just think of the state of 3 of them. Simon, ages ago, went out and got his AXN out and literally just nosed it in the ground at full pelt. The wing snaps. He broke the main spar. I've never seen that done before, but Simon managed to do that and broke his main spar on its AXN, and that went straight in the ground. And there wasn't a lot left of that one. So, yeah, keep going, Julian. You can do it. Now, I do have the box here, but it's absolutely... if I try and lift it up, I'll end up hitting the camera and stuff. So I'm just going to do my best to get it open here on the side now. It's been an absolutely mental couple of weeks for myself, and I make no apologies for not being around on live on YouTube and doing the coffee mornings and things like that. This year has very much been a very busy start to the year for me. As you all know, there's no need to apologise. It's work. Work pays for models. And remember, this is a hobby after all. So if you need to stick your head down and do a bit of work, well, that's the way it is, you know. And plus, the weather has been absolutely awful here in the United Kingdom. I don't know if any of you have been watching the news, but we've basically, Russia sent us some frosty weather and not nerve gas. You have to excuse me while I get in there. The kids are going to go mental for that stuff. Cat, not so much. Right, let's get the first one out. There we go. I'll leave it out there. We'll have a chit chat about it in a moment. Anyway, the weather here has been absolutely bloody awful. We've had 2 real big bursts of snow, and those of you which know anything about the United Kingdom, you've only got to have a snowflake land in a road, and that's it. Everything shuts down, and people just can't cope. It's not like a country like Sweden, for example, where everybody's fully prepared for the white stuff. No, literally a snowflake and it all just goes to pot here in the United Kingdom. I actually went on holiday while all the news was on. We had loads of red weather warnings, and I went down the motorway and went down to St Ives, which is, if you find the United Kingdom on the map, this is that funny leg out the bottom. I was right down at the bottom there, right down at Land's End. In fact, there's a little video of me on Facebook, you know, about a 5-6 foot snowdrift. Up to about here in it, and there was taller ones as well, and having snowball fights with the kids and stuff down on Land's End. So yeah, everybody was told not to drive. We drove from Bristol to St Ives, which is almost Land's End. I've never seen the roads as clear as what they were. It was crazy. Sean, just looking at his comments just there. I love it, and again, you can see the chat going on here on the side. And by the way, do feel free to join in as we go along live. Sean says, I love it to see a new plane arrives. It's like a kid on Christmas Day. And absolutely, Sean, I make no apologies about this. I work, as I'm sure it's the same for you watching this as well, you work your nuts off, or your other bits off. So why should you not spend some money on some foam, in short? And why should you not get excited about this stuff? So I've seen this one. I had it in my cart for about a fortnight before on Hobby King. And then it was on sale, and then, I almost bought it, and I went back, and then I thought, no, I'm going to get the other one, which you'll find out in a minute, and I thought, no, screw it, I've bought it. And I knew what was going to happen, I knew I was going to buy it, and I knew it was just going to end up just sat here in the middle of the office for over a week, and I've only literally just got around to getting it open. So, anyway, that said, it's a Super Kinetic. Now, those of you which might know its cousin, which is called a it's a non-family friendly name which I gave it because it deserved a non-family friendly name. Somebody might type it in the chat, you never know. Hint hint. And it was terrible. Well, no, let's not be fair, right? The model flew good. Perhaps my skills at the time were not as good as what perhaps they should have been, and it would have made maybe a better 4th or 5th model, not a 3rd model in the arsenal, you know. I definitely did own it way before I should have. As such, my opinion on it is quite low, but it was a very fragile model as well, so as such, I think it still warrants the name which it got. Anyway, this one is its cousin, and we'll be taking a look at it right now. Let's have a quick look. Andre says, howdy, I love it. I was also considering the Kinetic, so Andre, you're going to find out what this one's like. I've heard good stories, and I've heard as many good stories as bad stories. I think as long as we keep the nose out of the dirt, we'll be alright. And if we get more than 2 flights out of it, it'll be happy days. Whether that happens or not, nobody knows. But they are supposed to be pretty quick. Let's have a quick look. Michael, thank you for joining us as well. Anyway, there's enough of this chit-chat. Let's go and get this box open. Now, I am opening this on the box, and my microphone is just there, along with a cup of coffee. So it's going to make some fun noises. I do apologise for that. It was all a bit of a rush here to get set up to go live. So, and I can't find my piece of foam which I was using to use as a buffer underneath the microphone. So a little bit louder than normal. Right, first impressions. Remember, I bought this out of my own money. It cost me 48 quid, and Hobby King now do free shipping. They do 48 in the UK anyway. You can get Parcel Force 48, which is 2 days time-ish. And it's Parcel Force. I'm a big fan of Parcel Force. I used to use them for my own business. I used to run a product-based business for about 3.5 years. And out of all the couriers, well, they're all bad as one another, but Parcel Force were the better ones. Anyway, and that was before DPD really took traction. Anyway, like Parcel Force 48, so it cost me 48 quid for that one and extra for the other model, and it turned up in about 2 days, which was great, which is fine. Sometimes you want stuff next day and you're going to pay for next day delivery, like on Amazon, for example. You'll pay for Prime membership for next, well, you can get next or even same day delivery here in the UK, or even here in Bristol. But other times you don't really care when it turns up, so if it takes a bit longer, it takes a bit longer. But if it's free, even better. Quickly looking at your chats. Oh! Phil, you're right, you can see in here on the live chat from Phil. Hey Matt, glad you enjoyed Benji. I absolutely laughed my tits off for the last couple of days with Benji. I will put a link to that, or Phil, do us a favour, post a link to his YouTube channel in the Facebook group. It is not a family-friendly channel, and if you hear some obscene language from myself, it's Benji's fault, not mine. Thank you very much for recommending that channel. I have cried with laughter here. Unreal. Quickly looking at Blackbirds on there. My first AXN was tatty, so I retired it. My second, I planted it doing silly stuff and overpowered it. And the third AXN was crashing on its first flight in 25 mile an hour, I presume winds. Yeah, it's just the way it is. AXNs are, for me, the perfect model to like learn to fly with, because I've learned to fly with it, and I know so many other people who have learned to fly with an AXN floater jet. So, yeah, they're great models. Anyway, we need to get onto this foam, don't we? So while I'm here chatting away, we'll get some foam open. First impressions, that's what I was trying to say, is I like the packaging. There's plenty of space around the parts, and the parts haven't been broken. So, good going so far. There might be one of those. You can see the chat, I can see the chat. Yeah, let's say no more. Right. I've just turned the wing over, and I am going to be picky on this, and we got a review coming up on the Excalibur, and it's a bit of a mix. I can tell you already, like with the Excalibur, it's a bit of a mixed bag, because that model's been out for over a year now, and as such, I feel that the smaller things should have been cleared up. So I can give you a pre-warning. It's not going to be that well. It's hard, isn't it? I'm really frustrated as a pilot, just like you, as a hobbyist, that the Excalibur has been out for a good year now, and there's a lot of known small things which could be improved upon it, and none of them have been addressed. So we have that out on one hand, but on the other hand, I've nicknamed it Toothless, and it makes a really good swooshy sound. And I absolutely love the swooshy sound, and I've laminated the wings on it as well, and it's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, my point being about this is that one of the mods which I had to make to the Excalibur is that I had to put some black lines. So there's the top of the wing, I'll put it around that way, so nice and bright, to say the least. Underneath, is that they've got black stripes, and that makes it so much easier to tell the orientation of a model, especially if the model has a kind of normal profile to it in the sky, or if it's very fast. Now, if we think about it for a few moments, we think about the video for the mini track a couple of days ago, is in that video, that model is a very, very fast model. And once I picked the speed up and got my thumbs dialed in, is that was just full knacker around all the time. But that model has such a unique profile in the sky of the forward swept wings, is that I don't have an issue with orientation. These smaller models, or models which kind of look the same whichever way you look at them to a degree, you really do need black lines underneath them. And I've just seen Lauren has just been in found, yeah, it's called Dash Cam Bristol. You want the Christmas edition, and we'll stick a link in the Facebook group afterwards. And it is absolutely hilarious. Just be fully aware it has very inappropriate language in it, to say the least. And that's why I need to go very careful with mine. We do have a manual. We'll probably have a look at that never. Let's have a quick look at the fuselage. What have we got up here on the end, though? Cool, we got some... Oh, looks like the elevator fins. Let's get these bits out of the way. Let's get these out. Smells nice. It smells like plastic. Really chemically. Yeah, new. Smells new. I like that. That. Oh, hello. What the? I don't want to poke that in there. And the reason why I want to poke that in there, because I'm sure that's going to go in there and go and clip in. It would be a dog to get back out again. So let's not go any further with that for a minute. The wingspan, I don't know how big the wingspan is. Oh, it might be 815 millimeters because it says 815 on the box. So it's not a big model. I can already tell you this would not be a suitable first RC model. I can also tell you it wouldn't be a suitable second, third, only maybe a fourth model, just because of probably the speed on it. And I'm just being completely realistic with you. I owned a model, I owned several models, if I put my hands up, which were completely inappropriate for me too early, and I broke quite a few. But my XN's still going, anyway. So, right! Quickly keeping an eye on your chat. EF extra size, I guess. Let's have a quick... No, yeah, it's definitely small. No, it's smaller than... Yeah, it's smaller than an EF Extra. I can't get my EF Extra out. It's wedged right down the back of the other stuff. The other models down there. So oh, that battery bay is tiny. Absolutely tiny. That's going to be a challenge. Anyway, let's go and get these fins on the back. I'm just here having a nose around the model. It's the usual things, actually. Normally, you've got a camera up there, haven't you? Yeah. One thing we should always as a concern is over the... hinges on these models, and it actually looks like the foam hinge is very good, and that servo sounds quite nice. I don't know where it is in here. Where have they put that? Oh, hello. You've got a servo. Oh, I broke it now. Might as well carry on. Oh, hello. Hello. What are you doing in there? Oh, okay. Right, so you probably weren't supposed to pull that bit off. If you can see out there on the camera, there you go. Inside there, there's two servos. And one's for the rudder, which, by the way, looks about is half the size as what it needs to be. I've got a funny feeling the rudder is going to be completely ineffective. We'll find out when we fly it. It would be quite nice if I had a really fast model which could hold a proper knife edge. So we might tweak that at some point. Is that the same motor as a Wingnetic? That's the correct word. Anyway, and sorry, the other one is that this bottom servo, which is obviously I shouldn't be doing this. Oh, look at that! Can you see? Can you see the black hole down there? Can you see it's moving off that servo? That is. Where have I seen that before? I have seen that approach on Zod HD Nano Talon for their wings, for their ailerons, and there's the click. Remember I said about the click? Yeah, on the Zo HD Nano Talon, they've got the same kind of mechanism, or a mechanical mechanism like that, in the wings on that one, and the Zo HD I've still got it up there, the orbit wing, which to be honest, I've kind of lost the maiden video for it. It was so long ago now, I probably need to do it again. And to be brutally honest, I was so excited about having a nano talon. That one just got pushed to the wayside at the time, so it's kind of hard to compete with a nano talon because that one meant more to me personally at the time. So anyway, let's have a look at that. Oh yeah, look, the whole, so you don't need that much movement. Can you see that in the top camera? So I'm just moving the servo. You don't need that much movement in the elevator servo because you're moving the whole surface instead. Another thing which I'm thinking in the back of my head, that's going to be really fragile. That's going to get just rammed in the flight bag. And that really did click. I hope that comes apart maybe a little bit easier just for transportation. I need to go and grab a battery, so let's have a quick look. Chris, I am back, indeed. Does that have a plastic bit on top to attach the motor pod to? No, that has, I think that's supposed to go on there and that lid goes on there. But I will be back within a moment because I want to see if I can find a 1300 3S pack, which I have. Hello there. I wonder if we can fit a 4S in it. Probably not, but we'll try it anyway. Let's have a quick look. Right, so this is a curiosity because I kind of gave away the smaller batteries which I had. Anyway, I presume that just dips in there. I am just going to wedge those in there for now and get them in out of the way. You've got a plastic clip to hold the wing on. I do worry about plastic clips in models because they can break quite easily. Anyway, let's get this down. How the... I don't know. I'm working this out and seeing this for the first time as you are. On how... I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. If I carry on, I'm just going to break it. So I'm going to stop. We do have... This was the plug and play kit. That does mean it came with a motor. Did come with an ESC. You just need to add a receiver. And you will need they've got this set up as a motor 1, ailerons 1, elevator and rudder. But to be honest, you really would need... I've not seen this one fly myself in my own hands, but it might be better because you've got elevator, rudder, putting the 2 ailerons on separate channels, and I'll come to why that is in a moment, and then motor and the ESC on a 5th channel. The reason why I'm thinking that may be better is because, just again, my recent experience with the Excalibur, that model comes in so hot, and to be able to try and knock some of the speed off with crow braking. Now, you may be wondering, Matt, what's crow braking? In short, all it is just setting up your transmitter to put some up in your ailerons, and what that does is just basically kills all of the lift. So it seems logical, or I know I had this myself, it felt logical that you have flaps, so you both bring both ailerons down, so you get loads and loads of lift, and it slows the model down. The issue with doing that, and I found to my detriment, is that too much flat setting up your ailerons as flaps is that you can very, very easily get the model to stall. So the way to get around that is to do the reverse. You bring your ailerons up, and you need separate channels to do that, and you'll need to do a little bit of magic in your transmitter to set it, put on a switch and maybe a slider. But the thing is that if you're knocking off the lift, you can bring the model in, and it just sinks towards the ground. Thus, you can put more elevator in it, and then you can give it a higher attitude of attack, or higher alpha maneuver, and bring the model in quite slowly at that kind of angle, and then get it to sit down. That's something which I've been doing with the Excalibur with great success, to be honest. It's the only way of getting the bloody thing down. It just eats the sky for breakfast. Unreal. Anyway, motor, bit concerned. You will understand why in just a moment. A bit concerned is that you'll see that it comes pre-fitted with a motor. It does look like the same motor which came in the Wingnetic. If this motor is no good, I do have 2, maybe 3 motors which have come out of Wingnetics because I've owned a couple. Down there, if you've got a battery which is wedged in, oh, that answers that question. If you've got a battery which is wedged in there, is that motor, you land and the props are still going, it might get toasted. Now, let's get on to the sticky subject of batteries. And I'm just going to go and grab one other one. Let's see if yeah, I've got a small... Ooh. Yeah, that one might fit. It's a bit awkward. Alright, I'm just quickly go... So, there's no way I'm going to fit a 1500 milliamp 4S in there. There's no chance. The Blue Monkeys, it's big as the nose and the model. Try 1300 3S. That's the kind of battery which I'd really, really like for it to take. And the reality is that even if I chop that out, I'm not going to be able to use a 1300 3S, which is frankly a bit of a pity, because I've got several of those, and those are the little A-spec ones. Yeah, I've got a couple of those A-spec ones which have just started to die. But then I think some of them, it's my oldest ones which have just started to die. And then I think to myself, the amount of abuse which I've given those first original couple of packs, it's no wonder they've started to die. Anyway, onto the bright side. Does look like I can fit a 1300 milliamp here. Yeah, I can get that in now. I'll be able to get in that with a bit of crafty knifing in the side. It will be a bit of a tight space, but so that's a Nanotech 850 3S. That will fit in now, and I'm sure we'll need to do a little bit of plugging around and whatnot. And I've got no idea how this lid's going to go on. I'm just going to... Oh, what's that? I got it the wrong way round. You could have told me I had it the wrong way round. Yeah, I've got no idea how that's supposed to sit on. I will look at that later. I'll have a quick glimpse on the old manual. 50 quid. In short, I kind of like it right now. Mods which I'm going to make, I am going to get the craft knife out and make sure I can fit that 850 battery in there. 3S. Would have liked 4S, but can't have everything. I will be putting sellotape along the leading edge of the wings. I may even put a little bit of carbon fibre. You've got nice spars all the way along, but I may put just, I'll show you up on this one, I may put a strip of carbon fibre up into the wingtips, just because I know how fragile they can be, especially if I do something daft and stall it on the way in for a landing. And I will put some sellotape along the bottom. I know it's got those skid pans, but you've seen the pooey fields which we land in. And obviously I need to glue that back on as well, because somebody pulled that off a few minutes ago. So yeah, 50 quid. It's not the cheapest of models, but it looks fast. Just make sure the servos are in there. Yeah, they're in there good. Yeah, sellotape on the leading edge. Sellotape on the bottom, bit of glue there, stick a receiver in. It will be a channel, like I said, it will be a bit of a challenge to go for a 5-channel receiver in there. I need to dig out and see what I can cram down the fuselage area, because I think I really would like spoilerons on these, just to get the wind, get the air off them, get the lift out of them, so I can land it in a sensible area. So anyway, I'm going to put this one aside. We'll have a look at the other one. Did someone say about the Funny Farm? I'm really looking forward to this year. We've got 1 episode out so far. That's all we've managed. Hopefully the weather will get an awful lot better. Now, quick question for you. I've got a box here, which is a micro sky monitor. One of you are going to win this, and I've got one very simple question for you. In the mini drac video, which came out yesterday or the day before, whichever day it was, when I landed the mini drac, what did I say? 2 words. What did I say? First person to post it in the live chat wins that model, and I'll send it anywhere in the world, and it will go in the post tomorrow morning. I'll wrap it up, stick a little mate in there for you, and we'll get it sent out. So what was the 2 words which I said both times after each of the landings. Somebody already knows the answer, and the coffee's just here. So while you're guessing, hey Andy. And by the way, there is always a bit of a lag between me saying something and it coming out live on YouTube. So while you're getting that, I'm going to get the next one out. And it's actually just a plain white box, which looks a bit disappointing, but I can tell you it's quite a little bundle of fun in there. Right. Keep it light, Matt, and it slows down okay, just like a small walrus. Maybe not that slow. Oh, thank goodness for that. Big knock worst for it. So, yeah. Just to reiterate, it wasn't landed. So whoever can guess the 2 words which I said after landing the mini drac in yesterday's video or the day before, and one of them is a bit of a rude word, that will give you a hint. Let us know what it is, and you get a Ishin Micro Sky Hunter. It's the kit version, and I will get that sent out to you as tomorrow. And remember, shoot us the details in that as a message. So. Nobody's guessed it yet, and you can see the chat which is going on the side, and I'm here looking at the laptop, and nobody's got it yet. Come on. Hey, ET, by the way. No, it's not Austin. Keep going, keep going. Right, and next model. This one has been on offer on Hobby King and other sites for a while now. I've had my original one. Actually, I bought it off Hobby King original. I swear blind I did. For about 20 quid. But it's been on Hobby King for... No. Somebody's put... You can see the words going on in here. No, you keep going. No, that's not it either. Begins with D. Hint, hint. Anyway, coming back to it. These were on offer on Hobby King for £16 oddies, which is... it's not a lot of fame, but I see Colin, every time we go over to the funny farm, I always see Colin. You've guessed what it is already, I'm sure, by the fuselage. Oh, hang on, there's half a wingtip. Oh, there's the elevator thing in there. No, keep going. No, keep going. I said it twice. So I'm looking at your chat on there. Yeah, every time we go over to the funny farm, Colin's always there, and we're here just sticking models in trees and running around like lunatics, and Colin's up there flying on the same battery pack for almost the entirety. No, you've got to be ruder than that. It's 2 words. And I said, I'm 99% sure I said it on both times. After the takeoff, when it did a spin on me and landed on the ground, and I picked it up and looked at it and said something on it. And then on the very last landing, I walk across to the model, and I said it's okay, but she's a... Fill in the blanks. Anyway, well, we were chatting about Colin, weren't we? Yeah, Colin. Very frustrating. He flies this on a little 2S pack, tiny little motor. On the back, and it does fantastically well. Yeah, so I've been and bought myself one. In short, no, it wasn't wasn't the F word. Although I did say that a few times. Apologies for that. And anyway, it's a micro. No, is it a micro? No, mini Sky Hunter. Sorry, I had to check the labels on the stickers are crap. I tried sticking them on the other ones and they just fell off. It's a mini Skywalker, and these things are a complete faff because they are so small, and I mean that they are just literally so small. We get a bit of carbon tube. Oh, we get those awful control horns. I'll put those up on the top camera for you. Oh, you're getting close! You're getting close! Someone's close! Someone's close! Phil, you know what it is. I can't give you a bigger hint than that. I really can't. Come on, 2 words. Anyway, no, one of them's got a swear word in it. Right, anyway, those control horns, absolutely terrible. We won't be using those. Comes with a extension lead, elastic bands to hold the wings on, 2 little pushings which you're supposed to put through the top, which do kind of work, and that was it really. Oh yeah, the oddity with this one, if I remember correctly, you attach the motor. If we put the, come on, has anybody got it yet? No. No, nobody's got it yet. It's 2 words. First word begins with D. Second word begins with B. So anyway, Mini Skywalker. Brilliant fun. You get the little fin on the top. The one thing which you need to be aware of these is, well, they're 16 quid, so you can't moan too much at all. The one thing which you do need to be aware of is that it's a T-tail, and as such, they are extremely flimsy. And the one mod which I'll be doing on this one is putting carbon fibre rod from up there on both sides to then give this T-tail extra stability. Well, you got it, you got it. Hang on, hold on. Someone just got it. Someone just got it. Horseship. You've just got it. Well done, sir. Horseship. Do me a favour. On my YouTube, so after this video, okay, go to my YouTube channel. There's a tab which says About, okay? On the About tab, click on Send Message. Send me your address, doesn't matter where you live in the world, and I'll get that in a box, wrapped up, and sent to you tomorrow. So shoot me your address, and that's for Horseship, H-O-R-S-S-I-P. Well done, sir. Well done. And now they're getting it. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I thought I'd chuck that one in. Right, so yeah, Mini Skywalker, 16 quid plus pennies. Absolutely brilliant fun. If you want to see how much fun they are, if you look back on season 2, which was this year's Funny Farm, episode 1, because we only got 1 episode out so far this year, and you'll see Colin flying his budgie, sprayed his yellow, going around, and he'll literally get half an hour's flying time out of it. Tiny little motor on there. And anyway, this is an Austin right at the beginning. You see at the beginning, and saying, what was it? Austin walks like a girl. That's because he's just been and stuffed in his Mini Skywalker. So I want to be one of the cool guys, but I also know that I don't think mine's going to last very long. So I've been and bought myself a spare one. Yeah, with that said, we'll give it a punt. I will attempt. I need to check the servos box. If I've got enough little servos left, I will set mine up with a bit of rudder for poots and giggles. And I'll have to look to see what we got motor-wise as well. Brilliant. So remember, Horseship, shoot me the message. Oh, Sean, I've already promised. Apologies if I missed you. I genuinely do apologise if I missed you, Sean. Horseship was the first one which I saw. So, sorry, that's the caveat. First one which I saw was Horseship. So, Sean, if you said it earlier, I do apologise. I will make it up to you in the near future. So, apologies for that. I've already committed it to Horseship. Horseship, send us the details. We'll get it across to you. Right, anyway, let's get this foam out of the way. I won't be using the stickers because they're nasty. And they just don't stick to that foam. I've had it before. So let's get that out of the way. The Wingnetic. Let me go and grab that one, because it is time for us to wrap up. I do have a couple of things I want to just cover with you before we go. I'll stick that one on the desk as well. Yeah, so we have the Wingnetic. Really looking forward to that one, to be honest. The major gripe, which is what I didn't actually point out. Let's move these bits out of the way, and I'll have a proper look at these in a minute. Off camera, is that the major gripe with these, and I think it was Lee which mentioned, picked this up in the Facebook group, is it's the same as the Wingnetic, is that if you have a look up here on the nose area, you imagine you stick that in the ground a bit hard, and this whole section just breaks, and it's just a design flaw, or the it's not even necessarily a design flaw, because they've tried to do their best and put some plastic around to strengthen it. It's just an issue with having a motor on the front end of a model which is likely to pick up poo. You get the same kind of issue with the EF Extra. One thing which I'd actually say in its defence, which is actually looking like a bit of a positive already, is the foam is very, very dense. I didn't pick that up. This foam, so they're both EPO, and this foam is meh, whatever. This foam is definitely a greater density. It's harder to squeeze around the nose area, so maybe they've upped the density on it to try and make them last a little bit longer. Anyway, 50 quid. First impressions, kind of like it. It's going to be a bit of a challenge trying to get a receiver in there. I've just noticed that they've got one of those JST connectors, which I don't know what I'm going to do. All my batteries have got XT60s on them on purpose, so I might need to sort that out. I don't know. We'll sort it out. I'll get it ready. We'll get it out for a maiden very shortly. And of course, the mini Skywalker, 17 quid. You can grumble with that. They're great. Not a good first model. Not a bad second model. Maybe no, maybe not a second model. Maybe a third model. A bit of fun. You can FPV these up. You can stick a little all-in-one FPV camera on it. You can iNav these as well. One big tip for you if you're going to stick a flight controller in it is that you rotate the board, roll axis 90 degrees or minus 270, depends which way you want to put it, and then you can mount it up there on the side and process it that way. So yeah, really looking forward to that. Now I do have a couple of things which I just want to quickly nip through before we wrap up, and before my coffee is completely cold. Right, Skyrus, hang on, can we just have a look on there? Matt, take off the front cowl, then fit holes in the foam, cut the bits from the box, reglue the plastic on, or it would disintegrate. Yeah, we'll give it a pump. We'll leave it as stock, Skyrus, as in that's how the models come, and we'll see how it lasts. I don't know. 2 flights is its expectation at the moment. If it gets past £25 per flight, we might be more favourable. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm trying to keep away from modding models before we. Again, I'm short on time. That's my biggest issue. Blackbird says, make a little XT60 to JST connector. Funny enough, I do have one. I will just check the wiring to make sure the connector is round the right way round, and I will see what I'm going to do about that. The reason being is that we're very limited on space, so I may have to. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, right, coming back to my notes, which I've got here. CAFBAW. These are just going to be some ad hoc chit-chats at the workbench. Now, today, we had a little bit of an unboxing. Both these models have been here for over a week now. It's time that we got them unboxed, and I've just been busy with work in short. And as we all know, work pays for models, so there's no need for me or even you to apologise for not being around for a bit, because we got work to buy foam in short. That said, I will be running a couple more of these CAFBAW episodes, okay? They are going to be a little bit more ad hoc-ish, if that makes sense, is that I've got a collection of models here which I need to work on. So what better way of us having a bit of a chit-chat? We've got a mini Skywalker to get built. I'll probably do a little bit of planning first, and then we'll sit here, cameras on, we'll have a bit of a chit-chat. You can have a chit-chat here, and we'll get a couple of models built. The reason being is that I've got this one to get built, we got that one to get built, I've still got a full-size Sky Hunter down there, I've got a mini Talon to repair, and I've got another 4 models down there waiting to get built and finished. So my plan is that over the next couple of weeks we'll do a couple of live episodes, and it's just going to be a chit chat. We're going to sit here together, we're going to get a couple of models built, we're going to have a chit chat, we're going to have a few slurps of coffee. Sometimes they'll be in the morning, sometimes they'll be in the evening. Right, Skyrus says 2 flights is what I got out of mine. Let's have a look. Yoko says, hey, you've seen it in the chat already. Matt, is the Harrier S1100 on its way? ETA for a review. If that's the Reptile Harrier, the grey one with the 2 motor mounts on the back, yes, I have bought that, and yes, it is on the way. Funny you should mention that, because one of the other models, which I've got sat here somewhere, waiting to get built, is down there, is the Skywalker, the one with the purple nose. It's got a purple head. It has already been named. First word begins with B, second word ends with starts with E. So it has been inappropriately named, and I need to finish that one as well. Then again, this is my little cunning plan is that I got so much foam to try and work through. Hey, screw it, why don't we just go and do it together? So I also have another twin motored model to get out very shortly as well, and I've forgotten what that one was called. I think it was a Skywalker. That's really bad. I've even forgotten the name of it. I've just been so flat out busy with work. So yes, that one. Yes, it is on its way. Also, give you a heads up. Matt kind of got weak at the knees the other day. Felt happy with himself that he'd been working really hard and kind of bought a Raven, one of the DLG models. I did buy one for Banggood, and it turned up here, and the fuselage was just carbon fibre, rolled carbon fibre, was bendy as you like. And they, fair dues to Banggood, they gave me a full refund, but I was of course a DLG short, so wasn't that impressed about that. So I've ordered one from Hobby King. Like I said, went a bit weak at the knees. It was 30% off, and free delivery, so Matt was happy. So I bought one of them, and I just saw the what was it, Lee? No, I just saw somebody posted in the Facebook group, and then I saw Lee Schofield from Painless 360 doing the video on the new bonsai wing. So I've been and bought one of those as well. I grumbled my ass off earlier about buying one of those because it was 52 quid. 52 quid for a bonsai. That's not a good start. I know it comes with a motor and ESC. But is it still 52? Is it still £22 better than the original bonsai? Don't think we might be. So we'll see. And also, what was it? Lee from Painless 360. He was flying his. Now I don't know whether it's just because he's more of a COD guy, but the guys on Hobby King, they were absolutely ragging the nuts off theirs. They were really giving it some beans. Whereas Lee's on Painless 360s looked very anemic. So that's also going to be a bit of a weird one. So I'm a little bit curious on that one. So yeah, we also have the new bonsai on the way. I went for the lime green one, I think. Anyway, that's on its way. Coming up, let's have a quick look. Yeah, we've got bonsai, Raven. We've got some build. We're just going to have a chit-chat with the bench. We'll stick the cameras on. We'll have a chit-chat, glue some stuff up, have some giggles. And off we go. I do have the full-size Sky Hunter to get finished and out and flown. We do have the Wild Thing 46. Was it 46-inch version? That one has been and flown. Need to dig out the video for that one for its maiden flight, because it did fly rather well in quite windy conditions, to say the least. And we need to find that one a new home. So that one will be. That one was a free one, which was sent to me, and I was told after it had been sent to me. So as such, we've got it built, and it's been out, it's been flown, and we'll get it out there. Somebody lucky winner will win that one in the impending future. Right, and it's time for us to go. Let's have a quick look. Mark O says, that 50 quid bonsai is likely to last much longer than the 50 quid kinetic. Mark, I think you're absolutely correct. I'm just thinking how many times I've got my original bonsai up there on the wall, and that one has been planted in the ground more times than I can remember. If you think that I have 12 1002S batteries, because I used to sit there, I used to annoy the old guys off on the flight line. I would fill my front pocket up with 2S battery packs, 11 of them. Stick the 12th in the bottom of the bonsai and fly until it fell out the sky. Go and collect it. On the way back, I'm sticking the other battery in it, and then sticking the used one in my left pocket and doing that. And I'll just stand on the flight line and cane the nuts off it with a 2S battery pack. That's how much I love that bonsai. And it literally fell out the sky every time. It just knackered the battery, or I stuffed it. So yeah, it's going to be a curious one. Mark Dibble, are you capable of fair giveaways? Yes, fuck off. There we go. Killer Dave, Jazzy, I've not flown much as work and weather is beating me. Yeah, I know the feeling on that one. The weather here in the UK has been terrible. Work has been absolutely terrible as well. It's just the way it is, you know. So, bit of a pity. Let's have a quick look. Great miss of free micro flight lessons. Happy days. Let's have a quick look. Just moving. Yes, Skyrus, that was the name on there. So, right, with that said, it's time for me to go. I would like to say a massive thank you to you for taking the time to join me for this live episode. If you have any questions about the Mini Skywalker or the Kinetic or anything else which we've been covered in this live version, and Horace, again, apologies to Sean. I made a bit of a screw up when it came to picking the winner. Apologies, I just missed your name in there. So Sean, apologies for that. But Horace, that was the name which I picked. So that's what I'm going with. Send me your details and I'll get that model sent out to you tomorrow morning. It'll be, well, I think you mentioned you were in Texas. So it will be out with you whenever, sometime in the impending future. So I'm off. If you have enjoyed this advert-free, remember all videos, bar 1 or 2 where I've put special music in them, are advert-free. So if you've been enjoying this advert-free video, do me a favour, hit the thumbs up. I'm off. Have a great evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time it is day with you. I'm off. Cheerios!